Hello everyone and welcome to the first video of 2026. And with the new year here, I've given myself the gargantuan task of going through my Steam backlog. And with going through my backlog comes moments where I find games that I didn't even know I owned. Speaking of games I didn't know I owned, do y'all remember Marvel's Midnight Suns? I remember seeing a comment or two on Reddit posts talking about underrated games, and sure enough, this game was just sitting on my library for who knows how long. And honestly, I thought this game was gonna stay in the depths of my Steam library until the end of eternity, but honestly, I decided to download it to at least give it a try. And oh my god, I wish I had tried it out sooner. This game is legitimately great. There are some things here that the game does remarkably well, and I want to talk about them with you guys. So, without further ado, and without diving into too many spoilers, let me tell you how Midnight Suns is an underrated marvel. Now, let me get one thing straight here. I'm not a comic book guy. Most of my Marvel knowledge comes from the MCU, and even then, I'm not even caught up on that one too. With that aside, that didn't really help me when it came to actually knowing their proper origins. And what I mean by that is that these characters are all adapted from their comic counterparts, but this game does not require you to know each of their lore through and through, which is a great thing, especially for someone like me who only really knows the characters from their respective movies. And if you are only familiar with the movies, you'll find characters that you'll immediately know, like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Captain America, and many other characters, whilst also introducing characters that you may not know at all that much, like Magic, Nico Minoru, and Robbie Reyes. The way they're characterized is very good, and if you're familiar with their MCU appearances, it's a nice and familiar yet different take on them. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the most important question that you probably have about this game. Who are the Midnight Suns? Well, as per the wiki, the Midnight Suns are a team of supernatural superheroes appearing in American comic Midnight Suns Unlimited, which ran from April 1994. Morbius and the Midnight Suns as the first tied into the crossover events. The original team's final crossover was released 17th of Midnight Suns Sins, which ran from the Suns' first series in January. Not another Marvel longer. They say this featured is being resurrected in issues of Rage, Red, and Blaze. That was a lot. Essentially, the Midnight Suns are a group that is formed to fight the more occulty / magical side of the Marvel Universe. And for this game, our villain is Lilith, the mother of demons. Not just that, but we play as the Hunter, a customizable character that serves as our vessel for the story, and a way to get proper introductions to all these multiple decades old characters. Oh, I almost forgot to mention too, Lilith, the mother of all demons? Yeah, she's our mom. The combat was something I was not expecting when I first heard about this game. I thought it would be like one of those action RPGs akin to the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series, or the PlayStation Spider-Man games. But no, what I got was something completely unexpected. But I really should have seen it coming considering who the developers are. To break it down simply, think Baldur's Gate 3 tactical map with Slay the Spire's deck building. At first, I was a little disappointed that it was a deck building game. Don't get me wrong, I love these types of games, but I do happen to suck at them for the first couple of hours before it clicks for me. Luckily, that wasn't the case so much for Midnight Suns. After the training wheels were put away, I started to see just how deep this game can be when it comes to strategy. Being able to reposition yourself, using the environment as another way to do damage, or even just shoving the enemies into another ally. There are tons more to do in the combat of this game, and honestly, you'll see it for the rest of the video. Now, I had mentioned that this game can get really deep, but how so? Well, Before each mission, you're able to choose different heroes for the type of level that you're about to embark on. There are times when a required hero is needed to be on the scene, either for gameplay purposes or story purposes, but still, you're allowed to mix and match which ones you want to bring in for the mission. And that's where the complexity begins. Each hero excels at one thing over the other. You want someone who can be a tank while dealing tons of damage? You bring in Captain Marvel. What's that? You want someone who can use the environment to their advantage? You bring in Spider-Man. Each character in the roster has something that they can bring to the table, and each combination of them works better than others in certain missions. With everyone excelling at being certain types, it begs the question, what do we, the hunter, bring to the table? Well, everything, actually. We are the jack of all trades in our team. Want to do a lot of damage? Boom, they're dead. Want to be the tank of the team? Bam, you're impenetrable. You want to do lots of AoE stuff? Bladestorm, my beloved. And this is where the deck building really starts to shine. With the other heroes, you're allowed to hone in on the areas where they excel in and really optimize the way they can be played. But for the hunter, you're given this wide array of cards to choose from to fill out exactly what your team needs for the given mission. Speaking about the missions too, depending on how well prepared you are and how good you are at using the game's mechanics, they can range from easy cakewalks that you can do in 3 turns, or they can feel like a war of attrition that lasts for 8, maybe even 9 turns. That's not even mentioning the curveballs that they throw at you. Sometimes a defense mission can turn into a defeat them all type of mission, or my absolute favorite one, the one where elites show up. These mini-bosses first show up in their respective story missions, but after that, they can just randomly show up in place of the normal reinforcements that you would typically get. And it's curveballs like this that really punish you if you're not ready for it. But if you are, it rewards you with this easier time to deal with it. If you haven't guessed from how I'm talking about it, I really love the combat in this game. It makes me feel smart for using the mechanics in a clever way that lets me get through the missions quite efficiently. The game opens up the combat even more as you progress, but you know what, I'll let you experience them when they happen. You know what I also didn't expect in this game? A free roam hub. When I saw that Fire Axis was the ones that made this game, I figured that after the tutorial they'd send me off on the helicarrier or some underground bunker, and then we would do the standard XCOM base building things, and suddenly, wait, why am I moving around? Welcome to the Abbey, our little hub and base of operations against our dear old mother, Lilith. It's here where we're able to develop new cards and upgrade them to the best versions. We're also able to send out heroes here for smaller missions, for resources, and new moves. But that's not the most important part of the Abbey. It's here where we can actually develop bonds and get to know some of our heroes. And I'll be honest, I was not expecting that part of the game. Alongside learning more about the character, gaining bonds with your heroes also gives them passives that help them in battle. It's not just personal buffs too, you can also raise the entire team's bond level, which gives them a variety of buffs for both in combat and out of combat. There is something I'd like to add about the system. It's not purely just for getting to know the team and deepening your relationships with them, but they also give out tiny stat boosts to either them or your own character. Yes, it doesn't seem that big when you see the number that it gives you, but trust me, with the amount of times you'll be hanging out with them, they definitely add up. While that is one of the big mechanics of the Abbey, there is one more thing that I'd like to talk about. The Abbey has a lot of secrets, a lot of collectibles, and a lot of nice looking scenery, and honestly, it did not feel like a chore to explore any of it. I didn't realize just how much stuff was hidden until I started gaining powers that I could use around the Abbey. There are 4 powers in total. One you can use to open up doors, one you can use to reveal hidden things, one for purifying things, and one where you can just break things. You don't just get these all of a sudden though. Each power has you going through a trial that tests your abilities and knowledge of the mechanics to be successful in them. But once you're done with these trials, it felt like the Abbey just kept growing and growing in size until I realized that I finally looped the entire thing. It helps that there's no minimap on the Abbey grounds to help guide you, because it makes finding these secrets and collectibles all the more rewarding since you found them with your own curiosity and not some random marker on a map. There are probably more things out there on the map that I haven't found, but I know that sooner or later I'll end up unearthing whatever mysteries lie within these grounds. I'm glad I finally gave this game a try. It's just a genuinely really good video game. It makes me wonder just how many underrated gems lie in the pits of my Steam library backlog. But yeah, I hope you guys give this game a try if you ever see it on sale or anywhere really. I really do hope that we still get a sequel from this game. Before we end this video, let me know in the comments if you've been going through your own backlog and what kind of games you've been playing this year. I'd love to hear about them. If you want to see more of me, I'll have my socials down here in the description below. You'll find me most anywhere really, but they're down there for you guys to find. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!